Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ àwọn tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe rere, àní Maiyegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe rere, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary Politico. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lẹ́yìn o. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó. Àní ẹ̀sùn ráyì. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ráyì. Àní ẹ̀sùn ráyì. Lórí Facebook. Àní ẹ̀sùn ráyì. Lórí YouTube. Àní ẹ̀sùn ráyì. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
I think that looks better. So I can read better.
Aṣòfin tí ń fi òun. Ayé ẹ̀sùn lájú. Òkúra owó tó ṣẹ́gun. Ayé ẹ̀sùn lájú. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rágì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ayé ẹ̀sùn rágì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rágì. Maiyegun
today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching from, and happy Sunday. I think I receive that all the time when people greet me happy Sunday. So happy Sunday to all of you, the lovers of truth, the followers and believers of truth. The Maiyegun's diary Politico Votrons, the people that will never take anything short of honesty, responsibility, dedication, and consistency. They won't take anything less. We don't settle for less of Maiyegun's diary. And that is why they are surprised. How are we doing it? They said, Maiyegun, you have evolved. I said, well, I changed, my friends. You know, when you change your friends from those who believe so much in a lie, and you begin to look for those who are more interested in the facts, which is the truth. So it doesn't matter how it is presented. It doesn't matter how or what color it comes in. As long as it is the truth that they can verify, then they will stay. And these days, we are getting bigger. We are becoming bigger and bigger. So that should be worrying for them. So if you see them attack us, it's not because we are doing anything wrong. it is because we are doing everything right. Okay, that is why they come here. That's why they want to shut the page down. That's why they are coming for us. But they won't be able to, because we have now crossed the Rubicon, whereby we are now unstoppable, unmatchable, and determined, more determined than ever. Welcome to the moment of truth again. It is just a catch-up. It is just a catch-up on what they are doing to themselves. As much as we admire their own destructiveness of themselves, we must not underplay the effect, the consequences of their greedy, selfish, and personal interest. The consequences of that are the insecurity we talk about today, the unemployment we talk about today, the inequality we talk about today, the greed and corruption we talk about today. And it is far-fetched. And like I used to say, and I will continue to say, right, when I see or spot a thief, I will call him or her a thief. I am not going to, one, use the usual Nigeria whataboutism. What about that person? Why are you not talking about that? We know the thieves. And I also know that Nigerians, as they would love to delude themselves, they don't hate thieves. They don't hate corruption. They only hate it if they are not the one doing it. They don't hate oppression. They don't hate suppression. They don't hate any forcefulness at all. They only hate it whenever they are not the one doing it to others. And that is why today they will tell you, my thief is better than your thief. And today you will see the Buharidins on the one part, you will see the articulated morons on the other side. One will be holding an umbrella, the other will be holding a broom like a village priest. And they will begin to tell themselves how best their own thieves are. They will begin to compare bunch of bond slaves. That is the reality today in that shithole called Nigeria. So you are welcome once again. We know the consequences. We know that those who are destroying you and destroying the country care less about you. They even care less about the country. But one thing they are very, very sure of, and they're very certain of, is that they know their audience. And this is where we should all feel concerned, because they say we should be very, very, very careful and worried about foolish people in large numbers. Do you know why? In a democracy, they can elect a president. Do you know that? That is why a stark illiterate, a rogue, a thief was made a thief or thieves catcher in a shitty country that you are hugging right now as Mr. and Mrs. One Nigeria. One Nigeria. They milk you, they mortgage you, they sold you off. Then they turn around to psychologically tell you to pray for them. Who are those? Their partners in crime. The other criminals who knows how to read the Bible. They know how to read the Quran. They give all these their own interpretations. They put a whole bed sheet on their head and pretend to be men of God and all that rubbish. They go about dressed like they can actually hear from God. They do all of this to hoodwink you. They told you, you know this truth. You know the consequences of this stealing, but you must not do anything because God will do it on your behalf. And you foolishly, stupidly, and ignorantly, some of you selfishly, agreed with them. And then you bring in your diversion, what do you call the diversion tactics you always use. Don't talk about men of God. You and your men of God, if I tell you within my mind, I swear to God, you will begin to burn from now, right from inside of you as you are watching me right now. You will burn until you explode and go into extinct. You and your crazy men of God, as you said. And listen to this. My presentation this morning is targeted at those who have either hide behind your tribe to lie to you, who have either hide behind their religion, your religion too, to hoodwink you. Those who have hidden behind the fake political ideology to deceive you. I am targeting my message at them, not you. If you are a Christian, you should join me right now to condemn those I'm about to condemn, because I'm going to use every manner of, adjective that comes to my mind to describe them. And I won't give a damn how you feel about that. I don't give a fuck about that. I won't. And the reason is this. This is not about you. It is about those criminals who are hiding behind that your religion. And before they bring ridicule to it, let us separate them and join them with their other colleagues who are also robbing you, picking your pocket, killing you in the name of government. I hope I'm clear enough. And for those who are going to watch this later, hopefully you will go back and watch it from the beginning as well. This is not targeted at you. But listen, I know I have been dealing with this for a while. The wearies among you, the oponus among you, the alawokus, the half cured lunatics among you are still going to say this is against your religion or it's against your tribe. But listen, we will take care of you because you don't belong here. This is not targeted at your religion. It is targeted at those who have been using that same religion to hoodwink you. And they start from those who work with the thieves. You don't know what they do at night. In Nigeria, they categorized churches as charity organizations. They don't pay tax. But in the process of, under that cover, they went commercial. They started their own schools. They started these, and they are making their own money. The most expensive institutions in Nigeria to get educated would be to go to any of these churches with their universities. But they don't pay tax. They pay nothing. They give back under the cover of community, society, whatever they call it. That they can construct roads, they can decide to give borehole and stuffs like that, but they have to keep everything, every penny that they make from the people in the name of charity organizations. That's what they class them as. And it is just the cover the elite give to themselves. You have a business to make Nigerians happy. Now the license be this, but you will do something or else we'll shut you down. Because you know what? Forget about this God of a thing, okay? You are a charity organization by law, which means if you violate that, if you go to your church and tell people that government is lying to them, if you go to your church and tell your people that the government is stealing from them, if you go to your churches and tell, or you go to your mosque and tell your people that, they should revolt against the government, we will arrest you. We will revoke that license that we give to you. We will shut down that your building. And we will ask you to tell your God to come and fight for you. And all your pastors, all your imams, all of them who are currently everywhere right now know this. But they may not tell you. So therefore, you will never see them. The houses they built, they called the houses of God, were houses that they were supposed to be where you always meet the moment of truth. You will be able to say your mind. At least you are in the presence of God. The presence of God. God that is bigger than everybody, Abi, including the politicians, where you are expected to be honest and truthful, Abi, where sinners are expected to come forward and repent and never go back to their sins. These were the purpose, biblically, Quranically. You go into the God houses to seek for refuge and pray to God, Abi, a lot of things. but it has turned to, in so many places, it has turned to business centers where they are now collaborating with politicians. And you will see pastors mounting their podium, telling people that we should pray for Nigeria. How many of you remember how many times they've told you they are doing prayer? Yakubu Gowon, the one that killed over 5 million Easterners in Igbo land, called the Civil War, the genocide of the eastern part of Nigeria, where 5 million people were killed, is today roaming about. He is collecting salary as a retired president. Now he's flying about leading the campaign for Pray for Nigeria campaign. Now they are praying for Nigeria while they are killing Nigerians. They are praying for Nigeria while they are stealing from Nigerians. They are praying for Nigerians and they are freeing terrorists in Nigeria who are killing Nigerians. They are praying for Nigeria, and you see what it is? Because it's all ruse, it's all fake, it's all lies. That every man of God, I have men of God on my page. I have people who are probably, not interested in that multi-billion scam that the rest of them are into. I have Islamic scholars on my page. I'm talking about people who genuinely understand what I'm talking about. But you cannot keep quiet, and you cannot defend all this barbarity, where politicians are given front row, the front seat in your churches, the front row in your mosque, simply because they are politicians and you know what they represent. They represent every evil thing that is happening in your community right now, from their councillor to their president. So how dare you lead that campaign? Some of you are not even hiding it anymore. You now even go public to tell people to pray for thieves, to pray that God should change their mind. And now you are seeing some gullible idiots, some gullible morons on social media now saying there's nothing we can do. We have to pray to God. Do you know that that is an indoctrination? They indoctrinated people to begin to think that whatever is wrong with Nigeria is not ordinary. Whatever is wrong with their leaders is spiritual. And the only thing that can fix it is to pray for them, while the lunatics that are stealing from you continue unabated. This is just an opening. We have not even started. So, I have this, and I like playing it all the time. It is simply for those Buhari diddins from Yoruba land. Let me have a drink break. I will be back to start fully on Oshmugu, that we are now going to change his name to Maguluta King of Nigeria. And I'll break that down for you. A single man who oversaw the looting of over 550 billion naira. They traced 380 houses that were confiscated, but were never accounted for. 380 houses. He paid a pastor 573 million naira to go and buy him a landed property in Dubai. He is taking after the Buratai the butcher, chief of army staff, that bought 2 properties for his own wives in Dubai. He is taking after Malami, the Attorney General of Nigeria, the one that arrested Maguluta King. Malamu, that gave $18 million to his own friends for just signing papers that they are going to receive Abacha loot to Nigeria. The same Malamu that processed $110 million from Abacha loot to be refunded back to Bagudu, Atiku Bagudu, the governor of Kebbi State, the guy that was looting money for Abacha. When Abacha was looting and, terrorizing Nigeria, the same guy came back to become an APC governor today. And the Attorney General of Nigeria, the Malamu that arrested Maguluta King, is here. And you, dump head, is more interested in the way I talk. You are only angry because of the way I present this. Shineke Pogyoku, take that to the bank. I'll be back. Listen to this.
Moboju waye o waye shamalamala.
Moboju waye o waye shamalamala.
Mo ma boju ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣúbolẹ̀.
Mo ma boju ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣúbolẹ̀.
Mo ní ẹ̀rẹ́ yìí o. kíni dé sí Yorùbá o ọmọ aráyé kíni ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá o ọmọ Oòduà o.
yeyeyeyeyeye àwa máa ṣeun ọ̀rọ̀ là ń bẹ Yorùbá ń ṣera wọn nítorí owó Yorùbá ń jìra wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ nítorí ipò wọ́n gbẹ̀bí fáláre wọ́n gbáre pẹ́lẹ́bí wọ́n kò lè kó wájà wọ́n tún polóko wá mú ọgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbọ́ ló gbé wọn délé ọlá ọgbọ́n náà ló tún padà wá sí gbé wọn mọ́lẹ̀ o àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń ṣọ̀gá lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́ tún padà wá dẹni à ń fọwọ́ ti sẹ́yìn o yóò Yorùbá yoyoyo bí iná alẹ́ Yorùbá rúrúrú bí omi òkun Yorùbá bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe yóò Yorùbá ronú o.
Thank you. For those who understand Yoruba, you will understand what that was all about. I was asking my friends my brothers and sisters in Yoruba land to think. This is no longer about you. It's about them. And whatever logic they have been using for years, it is time to dismantle it. We will dismantle it. We will dismantle it. Oshmagu, which is now to be known as Maguluta King, is an ardent criminal. Just like Bokwari is a career terrorist. The problem that Nigeria is currently battling with started from 1966 when some terrorists funded, raised, trained by the old Nigeria to protect the old Nigeria when they overtook the government in a revenge form, not in any good intention, with any good intention. It was taken in revenge. And since 1960, everything about Nigeria has been about revenge after this, about that. Everyone is going after each other, suspecting one another. He is a thief, he is a this, or is it, you know? Do you know that Bokwari was part of those junior terrorists that did that in 1966? Same as Muritala. Same as Obasanjo himself, who wasn't really much active at the time. There's no record that he was so much active anyway. But he later benefited from the rot, becoming the deputy to Muritala, who was killed on the streets like a common dog as well. It was celebrated. And since that 1966, everything about Nigeria has been lies. That is why some Nicodemuses of this world, people who can see the future, they are now telling us that Bokwari is going to be the last, because almost everyone who participated in that 1966 coup that brought upon fake Nigeria for over 50 years now, some of them have also tasted in the destruction of the land. Some have become president. Some have become this. They've become the owners of Nigeria. They said, now Bokwari be the last person. And that may be the end of Nigeria. So that everything that is happening right now is pointing towards that. It's pointing towards the fact that it seems the end has finally come. And we will not let any fake pastor with fake prophecy, all those fake imam, all those fake malam in the north, all those terrorists who are putting bed sheets on their head, lying to their fellow gullible idiots that being terrorists, being, killing each other, killing other people is actually a show of power and dedication to Allah. They are terrorists. They are your leaders. They are terrorists. They indoctrinated you to become what you are today. Sold you a fake country, a jihadi country that they have used jihad to win for you. Meanwhile, it was a lie. Now that people are resisting you, you are calling us enemy of Nigeria, enemy of progress. We want one Nigeria. No. You want one Nigeria. Keep it. We don't want it. So they say Bukwari will be the last. And I'm beginning to agree with them. They brought Magu into, I will continue to tell you, they brought Magu in 2015. Before then, the record showed that Magu na thief, na person with the sabotage investigation, person with the steal documents, someone with the give information to criminals to run away, collect bribe. That is who Magu was. And when they presented all the data to terrorist Bukwari, when he was still alive, oh, are you with me now? Because it's already, it's more or less dead to someone like me. I know some of you are enjoying enjoying the pictures they are giving you on social media every day. You are enjoying all those videos, they are 3 seconds, 5 seconds video they are giving you every day, and all those recorded content they are giving to you. That is not a concept. Should I say that shouldn't be the proof of a living president. It is a proof of a dead president that can never, ever sit together and answer questions from the press. And he is the president. To me, he is a dead president. So, but before he died, before Buhari died, they gave him this. They said, Buhari, see you. Now this guy could be the EFCC chairman. No. They gave him other names. Are you with me? The only attractive CV to Bukwari at the time was Magu's CV. The CV that says he is a thief. Now DSS, so it's not me. DSS. It was DSS that reported it to. It's not Maiyegun. Before you run mad again with your Buhari Titis syndrome, before your mental problem kicks in again, no be me talk am. Na DSS. So the only attractive CV to Bukwari was Maguluta King CV, a career saboteur, a thief, someone that should be in jail the moment DSS found out all of that. Bukwari picked him and made him acting chairman. And they wanted him to prove that he can back and he can bite because they have names for him. The people they want, their rabid dog, the new criminal, given a gold chain to be the Lord, the new thief catcher. How can a thief catch thieves? It's impossible. It's a logic. It beats logic. It doesn't make any sense. So to prove to Bukwari that, apart from the fact that I'll be thief, Baba, I can disgrace anybody. I can go after anybody for you. In fact, if anybody is even just thinking about criticizing you, Baba, I will go after them. Even if anybody will just stand and take illegal picture with people where you know like, we will go after them. Baba, I know say I'll be thief. And I'm so grateful. I'll prove it to you that I am Magu, the Maguluta King, the new thief in charge. They sent him out anyway. We didn't know that it's like when you send a cat to go and bring your fried meat from the kitchen. And the cat walk back in. Or your fried fish. Let's say you fried a fish in the kitchen and you send a cat to go and bring the fish. So the cat walk back in and the cat is like, licking the tongue, the lips and all of that. And you're asking the cat, where's the fish? If the cat can talk, the cat will just say, you are just stupid. What you did was that you revealed to me where you kept your fish and you asked me to go and bring the fish. Are you not stupid? That was exactly how the 200 million mumus who actually, I know it's not actually the 200 million mumus that believe that Magu was fighting corruption, because some of us have been speaking up. We have been speaking up to say this is actually a charade. It's a show off. It's absolute nonsense. There's nothing like fighting corruption here. It's absolute bollock. But we know the 15 million mumu, the 15 million fools that elected the president. Listen to me, listen to me. If you are angry because of this, I'm going to increase the volume. You are a fool, because they say we should be afraid of foolish people in large numbers. But we ignore them. We allowed 15 million fools to elect a president. The rest of the country are now paying for it. They say Buhari was poor before coming to government, and he was crying on camera. The Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, they were crying too. They wanted to kill anyone who will make this demigod and demagogue their next jihadi leader. So Buhari became president. 5 years after that, the rest of the country is poor, poorer and poorer. Even than Buhari before he came, with his 150 cows. The man will get 150 cows in 1985, 150 cows in 1986, 150 cows in 1987, 150 cows in 1988, 150 cows in 1989, 150 cows in 1990, 150 cows in year 2000, 150 cows in year 2010, 150 cows in year 2015. Now, 6,000 cows in year 2020, because we said it's unproductive. Now they have looted, stolen. Now they are buying every cow they can find for him to show you there is a successful farmer. But for 33 years, 150 cows, 150 cows, 150 cows, they no born, they no die, they no born, they no die. 150, 150, 150, 150, 150. And from that 150 cow, from their milk, I believe, he sent Aisha Buhari to London to go and raise their children in London. Okay, it's not poor. You are just stupid to believe the story that it was poor. Abi, as a foolish person, they elected the president too. So these 15 million mumus were those who were calling us whalers. The 15 million mumus, they were those who were calling us haters for telling them that there is no way a thief will catch a thief. Don't you know that there is something called esprit de corps? Where colleagues, when colleague meet colleague, when politicians meet pastors, they will say esprit de corps, and he will reply esprit de corps. I don't know the meaning, but I just know that it's a language that says we are family, but I don't know the meaning. So how can you then send a thief to go and catch thieves? Even if he catch thieves, how are you sure that he won't steal what is taken from the same thieves? Remember, he's a thief too. Now, you now send a thief to go and help you catch thieves. And today, everything being collected from the thieves, he said the court, have disappeared. We now need another thief to go after them and bring them back for us. Some of them don't cross border. Like the 573 million naira that they pay to Dubai landed, someone in Dubai who don't even know that you are suffering in Nigeria. You have no hospitals. You have no good schools. You have no good roads. There is no security, no employment for your young people. They are being sold into Arab world for $100. Human being being sold on internet for $100, $200. If you go on internet right now and search for Africans being sold as slaves in Libya and other Arab countries, you will realize that 70% of those being sold, they are Nigerians. It will shock you. No joke. So someone will get land for Dubai is now a multi-millionaire because you have a thief in charge of your own destiny, who stole from you. He didn't return the money back to his own state. That's how heartless they are. I mean, for those of you defending them, that is how foolish you are. And I don't know, I don't know the other way to explain it. So I don't know the other way to really, I wish I could be like Ikene Shatabandu, the fake Pastor Ruga. That your star boy, yeah, your star boy. The special advisor to Bokwari on burial arrangement, condolence visits, and trader money. Ruga. I wish I could speak like him, I'll be speaking grammar. I'll be going like, I don't know. I don't know what grammar I can use to call foolish people foolish. Stupid people stupid. Idiot. I don't know other way. There are people who are very smart with words. I'm not smart with words. I'm not really that smart. So I prefer to call you what I know you as without twisting the brain of my listeners. So I'm just doing the God's work now, trying to save as many people as possible without manipulating and rigmaroling you around the same way those fake people are doing. I was in a church in Nigeria and we were told to pray. I'm coming back to Mago. We were told to pray. Raise your voice. Raise your voice with like thunder. You will call the name of Jesus 7 times. You will say, God, Jesus, God, Jesus. Why was so we pay? Oh, go Nigeria. Ibikibiti go Nigeria. Bawa. Ki go Nigeria. Ki ma bawa. You will tell God in a strong voice that wherever the glory of Nigeria is, it should start coming. We started praying. We pray. We were screaming in the church. Holy Jesus, hey, if anywhere, if you go Nigeria, oh go Nigeria, oh go Nigeria. They are on Facebook too. Some of you may cut this part out and go and show it to them that Maiyegun don't turn pastor. Today na sermon. You remember? Sunday. Oh go Nigeria, go Chadewa, go Shegba, go Shawo story. Some of us were shouted, oh go Nigeria at that time. Glory, the glory of Nigeria. Holy Ghost fire, bring the glory of Nigeria. Be the story. You know the shout out till I left Nigeria 8 years ago. Some of those are my friends. On this street now, nobody they shout to go Nigeria. Everybody don't tire. So if anybody is asking you to pray for Nigeria right now, he's a scam artist. If anybody tells you to pray for Nigeria, he is a scam artist. He can quote Bible. He can quote Quran. He can tell you about when they had a bad period in the time of Muhammad. Tell them you are not an Arab, okay? You've never lived in Arab world, especially if you are Ijebu like me. Just tell them you are not from Arab, and this is not 14th century. This is not 13 AD, okay? Nobody should tell you to pray for criminals of year 2020. Using the theory of 14 BC, 13 BC, when Rome has problem, the Roman people come together and they pray to the king and the God answer from heaven. Listen, you are not Romans. You are Biafrans, or if you want to prefer to be called Igbo, yes, you are Igbo. You are a Yoruba man. I'm a Jebu man. I am not from Israel. I am not from Palestine. I'm not from Saudi Arabia. I am not from Arab world. So when you see any criminal using any of those theories to tell you to pray for criminals of year 2020, he is a fraudster. Stone him and leave that place immediately. If you see anybody banging his head, hey, God spoke to me. God did not speak to anybody. It's a lie. Don't let any goddamn fraudster tell you that God spoke to him. Something is going to happen next week to politicians. They are all jobbers. And if you are a pastor, be bold enough to bring yourself up to date with the modern teaching that really liberates the people that comes to your church. Stop praying that people should be out of poverty when you are also telling them to ignore those who put them in poverty by praying for those who put them in poverty. If you are a man of God as you claim yourself, I am a man of God too. And I'm telling you now, that's what God just told me. If you don't believe, then I don't believe you too. Because God cannot be so wicked. Ibrahim Magu seized over 1,000 houses. They sold over 380. Some of them, they sold them as scraps to themselves. Some of them that they sold out, and the one they sold in scrap, they actually kept the money. Now, this is what happened. In the record of how much money or how much they sold everything for, according to Magu, is 504 billion naira. When they check the bank, what the bank record shows is that Magu deposited 540 something billion. The 540 billion, the 504 billion, the discrepancy in both, they said is about 39 billion. That, okay, let's even agree that everything where you sell now, 540 billion, Abi, where the 39 billion, where that one come from? Because there's no record of it from the 504 billion you submitted. You told us you recovered 504 billion. But in the bank record, where them fake, now fake bank record, is working with pastors, is working with bankers. They are laundering money for him. He's working with Bureau de Change. They said 157 accounts is traced to one man, Ibrahim something. 157 accounts is a Bureau de Change, yeah? Is the one that is collecting the money for the sales. You know, when they sell EFCC properties, yeah? Is the one that will find buyer. Is the one that will collect the money. Most of them, it took for himself too. The guy is flying about in private jets. Okay? Now, they said, if it is 504 billion, I don't know if this makes sense to you because it won't make sense to Buhari Dins and Buhari Diotil. But if you are following it, you will get it better. They say, Magu, come and show us how much money you have recovered. According to you, and according to some record we have, you have recovered over 1.2 trillion naira worth of cash, properties, including vessel. You go fear. This guy, Maguluta King, is an uncommon criminal. Uncommon. And you will still hear more. Maguluta King, come and tell us. We have record. You told us you have you recover everything is 504 billion. Okay. Even though we know it's over 1.2 trillion. But even your 504 billion you submitted, from that same record, from that same document you gave us, you say everything sold for 504 billion. And you have deposited 540 something billion. With 39 billion gone. Not just that. For 5 years, where you say you put this 540 billion in account, how much is the interest? And where is the interest? And how, that's why they are holding Magu. Not be only that. I told you that those who are importing chicken, they are among those Magu was going after. It wasn't going after the big thieves like Tifnumbu, like Oshiomole, like all the 36 state governors who are looting their state like the world is coming to an end. 36 states, they are looting like the world will end tomorrow. But they choose who they go after. And they cover those they want to cover. You won't believe that they said 160 ship, vessel they call them. You know vessel where they carry fuel. The one they carry crude oil from Niger Delta. 100 and about 158 or so. Sheep. disappeared. All these sheep, they came to load crude oil. You know when they say bunkering, I have told you, when they tell you they are doing bunkering, the only people behind bunkering in Nigeria are your retired soldiers, your retired generals, your former president, your current few ministers, your current ministers of defense and the rest of them. They are those behind, all your service chiefs. They are those behind oil bunkering. They know themselves. Because if they tell you, oil bunkering, we just bought a new speedboat fighter jet to combat oil bunkering in Niger Delta. Oh, now for show off. You know what they are doing? They are asking Nigeria to buy a weapon for them so that they can protect oil bunkers who come to steal your oil, and move them into the IC, and they will protect them from any local people or the militants from hijacking those bunkering ships. But if you go to Niger Delta, ask an average Niger Deltan, it will tell you, waiting you they call oil bunkering for the rest of Nigeria is actually a coordinated business in Niger Delta, and those in charge of it are the Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian army. I'm not kidding you. This is true life story. But still, last, EFCC talk say they arrested 160 sheep. I don't know if that is a correct sentence anyway, but who cares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 13, 14, 60, 100, 110, 130, like the county election in Edo State, 160 sheep. They arrested them for oil bunkering, illegal intrusion to Nigeria. But they say all of them don't disappear. They say it is either they sold them off. This is where it becomes interesting. To you will think, but maybe they pay bribe and they release them to the owners. No. You know, when they confiscate, you have to have strong connection, strong political connection to get your ship where they arrest for bunkering to get it released though. They don't release oil bunkering ship just like say, no. It has to require a powerful connection in the presidency. But under Maguluta King, it was easier. They just sold them off. Imagine selling a whole ship. Imagine that. Like that confidence. How much do you think they will sell a ship that comes to carry crude oil? Because all of you, Buhari Diderins, nitwits, half-educated morons, people who are being led by their noses. They led you by your noses. You have no clue of the damages they have done to you. You have no clue. Economically, they have ruined that country. Politically, and name it, they have destroyed everything. Psychologically as well. They have destroyed the people. Imagine, how much do you think they will sell a vessel where get crude oil inside? They sold some of them off, collected the money, they returned some to the owners who could pay bribe. My brothers and sisters, no kobo from all those money is accounted for. Or let's say all those 100 and something ships, right? They are also part of the 540 billion. How foolish do you think people will be? Nigeria is going to break up. Look at me very well. Nigeria is going to break up. You can open 1 million fake account on Facebook. You can open 10 million fake account on Twitter to keep telling people that Nigeria is going to come out of it. Their problem is leadership. You are just a lunatic. They should take away your phone and they should turn off the internet in the house and make sure that you don't watch TV until they begin from kindergarten with you again and begin to put your brain back to normal. And before they can say you are now matured enough to have a conversation or have an opinion about what and how politics can destroy you and how you can foolishly stupidly support that without knowing. They destroy the country. They destroy every fabric of it for their own selfish gain. And if only if you know, or if you have a clue, then you will realize that if I insult them, you should join me in stoning them whenever you see them. That's how it should be done. That's how it should be done. They sold sheep. People say they buy things, though. Like, imagine someone asking me, EFCC asking me if I want to buy sheep with crude oil. I would just be like, who go collect that from me? Because they are friends. They do. Martin Luther King, a complete and stark illiterate, was able to deceive educated morons to go and do corruption work under the sun. Educated people, they all group up in Abuja. They are doing anti-corruption work, EFCC anti-corruption work. While Martin Luther King was making business with the people of underworld, selling off Nigeria, sending your children to further poverty. Do you know, or do you have an idea of the consequences of that? You don't. Educated people were writing beautiful, beautiful articles to tell us that a rogue, a thief, was doing a wonderful job. Don't let us forget all the good things he did. Alaye gbebodi wogbolo, disappear. Don't let us see you again. Which good thing? He looted the loot. Is that the good thing? Are you mad? Or mad dismarting you in any way? If you can think. Someone should take away their phone. I mean, if you are at home right now and you have a Buhari Didini, and you are hearing my voice, and your auntie or your sister or your uncle is watching a video right now in the background, take away his phone if it's a Buhari Din or a Buhari Didini. A thief stole, and we send a thief to go and collect the loot. The thief collected the loot, relooted it for himself, and you morons are doing corruption is fighting back. Who are you deceiving? Who? Except yourselves? Nobody. You know. Now, sixth day. Sixth day. They are still investigating. Even though they have their truth. We know the truth. We have told them. We will continue to tell them. Right? But they will play the game, and then it will be their fall guy. The same way Olisa Metu became the fall guy for Goodluck Jonathan. So they will use him as their fall guy. They bring in another terrorist, unknown personality. We don't know. They said they don't even have the education background or record of this new jihadi EFCC acting chairman. They always bring them. They have them in abundance. They have all these criminals in abundance. They will paint them. They will tell you, he's so honest. Oh, he's the one that stopped the Kiniko in the Loshi. Weary. Who stopped what? Is that what they told you? They are stopping people from looting. If not for Buhari, they would have looted all the money away. If not for Buhari, thank God for Baba Buhari. Olofo, rada. Look at me very well. If you are lucky, if Nigeria no kill you quick, some people go die because Nigeria's failure. The consequences of all this looting, the consequences of all this stealing, and your collaboration and enablement, enabling them, encouraging them to continue to do the same thing to you. If Nigeria no kill you today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next, or maybe someone next to you. Last, one Nigeria will kill you if you don't kill Nigeria. It is not a curse. It may come out as one or like one. It is not. You are living in a place where those who are dealing and stealing from you, cares no hoot about the consequences of their action. How many children will go to bed hungry for that little transaction? And let me tell you what the 540 billion can give you. Maybe that will give you some sense. The 540 billion, let's put that presently at $2 billion. probably $1.5 billion. That will build you a 1,000 bed each. A 1,000 bed in each geopolitical zone of Nigeria, and it will build 6, meaning you can have a standard hospital built in each geopolitical zone, which cut across the whole country as they have currently divided it, Abi. And it will also build you a 10-lane dual carriageway second Niger bridge, completed from scratch. That money will build it. That money, if they decided that, okay, we don't want to build bridge, or we don't want to build hospitals, we just want to share the money to the poor people. That money, by 15,000 naira, as little as 15,000 naira, will reach 1 million people in Niger Delta. Let's even use Niger Delta, where they stole the oil from, where they stole the money from now. If Niger Delta Republic is a country, that money will turn Niger Delta, 540 billion naira, will turn Niger Delta around overnight without stealing. I mean, it will build 6,000 bed hospital in 6 different places in Niger Delta alone. Or give 15,000 naira each to 1 million people in Niger Delta alone. But today, one single person shared it among his friends in a space of 5 years. And today, he has supporters who believe that they are just going after him because of what good thing he did. He didn't do you any good thing. You are just stupid. And you don't have anyone to tell you. And I'm here to tell you, sir, you are just stupid and mad. Congratulations that you finally found someone to tell you. Okay? He didn't do any good thing. He stole from you. That's what he did. That could have given you and built you a standard 10,000 megawatt electricity for the people of Niger Delta alone. 10,000 megawatt electricity. That 540 billion will build it for you. The vessel they sold and the oil they sold, put everything together, probably that will be another 500 billion that can actually change things. I know your leaders, your governors have looted more than that anyway for the past 21 years that you have also been part of Nigeria. But look at that. It's the same thing. If you go to Lagos, Yoruba land, if you go to all our land in Yoruba land, that is where they are making a hell of a money after they have stopped other seaports, stopped other land ports in other parts of the country, only use the Yoruba land as their gateway and entrance in order to control what comes in. Now, every border is a billion naira trap for those who are taking money in Yoruba land to feed the gluttons, the lunatics that you call your leaders in Abuja. So that is the damage and the damages that you get for being part of one Nigeria. Continue, enjoy it. I will always be here to remind you that it will always end in tears. Break up Nigeria to save lives. Join the campaign. Begin the conversation. Tell your parents, tell your brothers and sisters, call those you need to speak to and tell them, listen, it is over. And before they finish us, before they kill everybody with whatever agenda they are bringing on, it is time to break up that place to save lives. If you are not for that, congratulations and await the news of how much of destruction you are, cuddling for shouting one Nigeria. We have Oshiomole, we have Tifnumbu, we have Malamu, we have the current one now, Maguluta King, we have Bokoari, we have Ruga Pastor, which is Ikene Aristotle. We have another one here, which is another fake progressive. I call them progressives, by the way, which is Saleko Barack Obama, Tunde Fashola. We have another one, another jihadi lunatic who also deceived millions of people, who turned them now to Alimajiri, the Oshogbo Alimajiri. We have Aregbe Mugbo, Baba Kabiru. Aregbemugbana, right? A man that single-handedly turned the whole state to paupers. And they couldn't complain. To tomorrow, he has his own supporters there. And Maguluta King, today, who is now singing like a parrot, we hope they will let him speak to us directly so that we can pick one or two things from that. There are more. There are many. Do not listen to any pastor. Do not take any goddamn sultan or any goddamn imam or malam or whatever they want to call themselves, all those fake terrorists in the north. Do not listen to any of them that ever tells you to pray for Nigeria or pray for your leaders. Just when they say that, just automatically know that Maiyegun told us. That means my pastor is a business partner with the Nigeria politicians. So what should you do? Run, before they finally sell you off to them for peanuts, for a piece of shekels, right? Same way they are selling Nigerians up as slaves in Libya. Run. I'll see you when I see you. Good morning.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́ làwọn dòdòdòdò. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́ làwọn dòdòdòdò.
Number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o.
Ará ìlú.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀dẹ̀rù kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe rere,
Maiyegun my way.
ó sì tún ṣe rere, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun diary Politico.
Maybe number one.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ fara balẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Àní
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́ là.
àmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun number one. Tan 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 tan. Tan 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 tan.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra yìí. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra yìí. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra yìí.
Maiyegun today.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun today.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra yìí.
Maiyegun today.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun today.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra yìí.
Maiyegun today.
Bàbá bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun